I thought in this evening's live video that I would share with you a story uh, of an experience I had with a group of bicyclists on a back road someplace. Um, it was a paved back road, which is quite nice, um, but bicyclists. Um, so I was driving, minding my own business, listening to music, singing at the top of my lungs. I was alone in the car. And I saw up ahead this line of bicyclists, quite a few of them. They seemed to be riding together. So, so I'm there looking if I can pass them. I couldn't though because we were on a hill and I couldn't see above the top, so it would have been dangerous. Now, I'm only going to talk about Vermont driving laws because this is what I know. Um, Bicyclists are supposed to ride on the far right-hand side of the road with traffic. Not supposed to ride towards traffic, car, bicycle, not like that, but car and bicycle heading the same direction, but on the far side of the road. Now, in Vermont, bicyclists are allowed to ride beside one another. So one. So two bikes side by side. I'd like to know who decided that was a good idea. I'm guessing a bicyclist who can make laws like that or make decisions like that. It's not safe because if one is on the far side of the road, I can assure you the other one is not. They're in the road. Also in Vermont, we are allowed to pass on a double yellow line. Now, that would be for a motorized vehicle driver. And I also think that's kind of dangerous, but we're not supposed to pass on hills and curves because, of course, you can't see what's coming up, from the other side of the hill, and you can't see around a curve. And should there be a mirror there, it's still not safe. So there's this line of bicyclists, and one of the bicyclists looks like he is trying to pass these other two in front of him. But I realized after a couple of minutes that, he's not actually passing. He's just riding beside them. So definitely in the road, definitely a road hazard, and definitely can't pass. Because again, heading up to this hill. After another couple of minutes, a bicyclist closer to my car decides to pass or ride side by side. But again, wasn't passing, was just hanging out in front of my car. It was pretty frustrating, the fine Heidi ho to the folks who joined me. So we get to a four-way stop. That's with the stop signs at all the four intersections coming in. Now, again, state law requires that bicyclists stop at red lights and at stop signs. A complete stop, stopping the bike, then having to restart. Now, I know from years of riding a bicycle and quite frankly, riding an adult tricycle now, that it can be hard to get momentum going again. Get that, but still, it's the law. Stop your doggone vehicle. To stop. I'm not expecting a bicyclist to come whizzing through a stop sign. So let's see. A car weighs what? 4,000 pounds anyway, and a bicycle, not even close. A fine howdy ho to everyone who's joined me. Luckily for them, for the first handful who blew through that stop sign, there were no other cars at the intersections. my car was the only one, and then the 3, 4, 5 who blew through the stop sign. The others had stopped. I'm glad you're sitting down. I should have warned you. You should be that they actually stopped. And what was interesting was, although a couple of them had crossed to the next part of the road, they came back and they were circling like sharks. It was so odd. It was so odd. And I actually think now that they were circling so I couldn't pass them, because this story continues, certainly. So at this point, the others were now crossing the intersection. Another SUV had come up to the stop sign and was waiting, because God knows, each of them should have stopped at the stop sign and waited their turn. But it is so rare to see a bicyclist stop at a stop sign that I actually will comment to a friend, wow, that person stopped at a stop sign. That's not supposed to be like that. They're supposed to stop at the doggone stop sign. Just stop already. So they're going through the stop sign. The other car and I are waiting. And when it's finally my turn to go, I've crested that hill, and I'm heading down the hill. And the bicyclists are across the entire road, my side of the road. The other side of the road, the oncoming traffic side, they're not on that side, but they're across my lane completely. So even if I was pretty far back from them because I was doing the speed limit. And I know most bicyclists don't have a speedometer. They do make such a thing. I used to have one. It can be stunning to see how fast I would be going down a hill. It's like, oh my gosh, I've got to put the brakes on. Excuse me. So they're up ahead of me all over the road, and come to a straightaway. So it's just flat finally. And I'm able to pass a whole bunch of them, which was great because they were riding side by side, as state law allows again. So I passed most of them, but by the time I got to the first one, there was an action in the road and I couldn't. When I was able to pass, got way ahead of them. Now, I did get to another stop sign, and I decided to look at my rearview mirror to go see what was going on because there was traffic behind me. Certainly, I wasn't the only one who was trying to get around these people. And I realized there was a pickup truck, same side of the road as I, with bicyclists right in front. There's no way on earth the trucker was going to get beyond, be able to pass them. And then the bicycle, there's another pickup truck trying to pass them, over the double yellow, but there's no traffic at all. I mean, just no traffic whatsoever coming the other way. And bicyclists had blocked him off too. I believe that bicyclists absolutely must take a riding test, much like drivers have to take a driving test. I believe that bicyclists must take a written exam and the riding portion of the exam. They have to be licensed. They have to be insured. And that police really need to take notice of this really terribly boorish, awful behavior that's going to get people killed. And the thing is, or injured, I suppose, but car versus bike will lose 100 zillion% of the time. What they do on the roads, not everyone, not bicyclists. Many bicyclists are perfectly fine doing what they're supposed to do. They're not necessarily stopping at stop signs and red lights. Why? Why risk your lives for that? It's better to stop and live than blow a stop sign and have a tractor trailer run you over. Motorized vehicles cannot stop on a dime. But wow, that was a dreadfully horrible experience, pretty frightening as well. The lack of regard for their own lives says a lot. And the unmitigated gall of lining up in front of motorized vehicles so they can't pass you. Just mind blowingly stupid. Because, quite frankly, I'd like to see them arrested for that behavior. It was dangerous, it was foolish, it was illegal. And you bet your sweet Bippy, if a car did that, the the driver would have been pulled over and ticketed. Probably would have had points on the license as well. And I think that this should really go in hand with bicyclists. And I think of the added revenue too. The state could really and could use more revenue. And wow, just boorishly terrible behavior. Um, Terrible behavior. Very disappointing. Now, thankfully, I have not seen that group again. Would I recognize them? Hard to say, but just wow. So, if you're a bicyclist, I'd love to know why you don't stop at stop signs or even red lights. This didn't involve red lights, but admittedly, how many bicyclists do you see actually stop at a red light? Even a cursory stop. Um, because when push comes to shove, if you're a bicyclist, you will die. Cyclist. Unicycle? Anyway, I someone wrote a comment here, cyclist, but by the way, not bicyclist. So that just suggested me it's a unicycle, but I ride a tricycle, so I'm also a cyclist in that sense. But anyway, it was an abysmal experience, really, really scary, very scary, and I don't recommend that kind of behavior um, at all. Being on the other side of the road, blocking someone who's trying to pass you, what the heck? I've certainly experienced my share of idiots driving other motorized vehicles. Lord knows, I've likely been an idiot myself. I have been an idiot myself. Let me correct that. I have been an idiot myself. But uh, just please be safe out there. Be safe. Remember there are a lot of signs, yellow signs here, road signs here about sharing the road, and a lot of commercials sharing the road aimed at motorized vehicle drivers. But bicyclists, you're sharing the road with vehicles that can squash you like a bug, like that, because you're not paying attention or you're doing stupid things, or the driver of a motorized vehicle could be doing stupid. But at the end of the day, you are in much more danger. So I'd say, yes, be careful out there, but my God, don't do stupid things like that. You're not entitled to behave that way, because that's what it feels like. It feels like these bicyclists are just feel entitled to do what they want, however they want, and there's certainly no recourse. There's no one who's going to pull them over and give them a ticket. So anyway, that was my experience. Clearly, really an irritating one. Traveling for history means traveling and coming upon that kind of behavior, that kind of bleh. So anyway, thought I would share that story with you because it's part of traveling for history. So anyway, thank you so much for watching tonight, and tune in for Friday's show. I'm still trying to decide again between the same stuff from last week. You watched last week's live video and see what I was trying to decide between. It's the same thing this week unless I film something in the meantime. But anyway, this is Patricia, and I'm traveling for history. Hope you enjoyed today's show, and I hope to see you again next time. So thanks so much for watching, and I shall see you soon. Bye now.